Welcome to Whiskey Ball.
I'm Daniel.
It's Rex.
And this is a gift from Magnificent Bastard, Dave from Pittsburgh.
Dave from Pittsburgh, you magnificent bastard. What if that was his first, middle, and last name?
Yeah, and everyone's always making fun of him. But he's like,
My name is David F. Pittsburgh.
he actually lives in Florida.
The third.
The third.
Dave from Pittsburgh.
They're
The
like,
third.
that's a generational curse right there. So this
Speaking
is one
as a third and as a fourth.
Yeah. This is one that we know and love, Wigle.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
But
they do some interesting stuff, man.
it's a bourbon, not a rye, and it's a bourbon finished in Lafroig barrels.
Oh, you shut your filthy.
Oh, I know.
Cool.
Kind of excited about this one.
Okay.
Okay, so hang on. Before you smell, making
wanna
sure nothing in there before I look for it. Yeah, it's all Lafroig.
My two tiny.
And your mark, and 2 years old.
Face
On your mark, go. Whoa, that's weird.
Okay.
Again, what do we keep getting these things that say they're one thing,
And then
but smell nothing like it?
This is more. I get more of like what I would expect from a malt on this.
Yeah, me too. Like I know. Okay, so I'm definitely smelling corn.
Because yesterday,
Right.
we put our nose in a malt. It's like, wow, this is damn near bourbon. Right now, we're putting our nose in a bourbon. It's like, there's a lot of malty character coming out of this. I wonder how much of that nose is being carried from the ex-Lafroig barrel.
Okay, I'm definitely getting a dry corn dust, candy corn sweetness.
But there is like a foggy earthiness.
Yeah.
A
You know what?
foggy, not petrichor, not muddy soil, but it's kind of like it's fog. The
Yeah.
air is damp, and it's a little bit of an earth quality in there.
You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of like
That's gotta be
there's a
Lafroig.
fog in a space, but if you get low enough to the ground, it's clear.
Okay.
And I'm smelling
That
all this
means-
corn dust sweetness down low to the ground.
It's called your house is on fire.
Yeah, and if I stand up, it's like, oh, there's the smoke.
That's drop.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of dig the nose. There's just
Very weird.
There's very, very thin, light wisps of Isla. Very thin, very light. It's like the tiniest little thread of a medicinal note.
What you can't say is, like, if you're gonna do something weird, like finish a bourbon in Lafroig casks, don't go for subtlety
Oh yeah.
and nuance. Go for like, yes, I want to know.
Yeah, no,
It was in Lafroig, so this is at least 2 years old, and they said a whole year in Lafroig barrels,
Right.
and you can smell it.
You and I were talking about this, I think, a couple of weeks ago by the time people watch this. How often you'll get a bottle that says it was finished in this weird way and it did this special elaborate part of the process, and then you get into it and you don't find any obvious impact from that.
Like those West Cork bottles of like bog oak, and it's like maybe. This is a weeded bourbon too.
Well, I think West Cork, the most recent one we did, it was an obvious impact.
Yeah,
but it was a sooty quality of the smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one before that, the peated barrel. All right, let's try to smell, because this is a very, very weird
It's got
nose.
kind of a very unsweet corn meets wicker nose. That's the closest I would attribute to the American whiskey.
It's like you
bourbons.
dressed up Frankenstein to try to take him to the fancy dinner.
You think?
Yeah.
I'm not getting a lot of corpsiness.
Yeah, just the Frankenstein's not, he's like trying to fit into this suit. It's like, and it's not working, and it's having to get like patched back together on corners.
So the fact that this is coming out of Wigle, and I do associate them with doing interesting, off the beaten path type things, that doesn't really surprise me from
No,
them.
not at all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a very soft palate.
Oh, I like. And then it does get more,
Oh, yeah, there
a
it
little
is.
bit more of that Isla smoke.
On the aftertaste.
Kind of tiniest bit of burnt ends,
Yeah, you get this like,
a little meaty burnt end, a little barbecue smoke in there.
you get this flush of soft sweetness.
A little campfire.
And then your lingering oils are all smoke.
Oh, that's
The palate's really nice.
how was that balanced? This is 46%.
Yeah.
That is unique flavors. And usually whenever somebody goes off the beaten path, they're going to find something different, but it also doesn't come in a nicely balanced presentation of flavors. It's going to be like, oh, that's new. I really got to be in a specific kind of mood to enjoy that. This is very unique. I'm still one sip in, by the way. I reserve the right to change my mind in a few sips. But this so far is very unique, very interesting, but it's also balanced. Wigle's doing some damn good stuff now.
Oh, I really like the palate.
Although they did make a weird Pennsylvania rye back in the day that I still...
Oh, it's over there called Old Sap.
It's not for me.
It's still over there.
It's not for me.
And I still won't drink it.
Yeah, that's a funky adventure that's even beyond me.
I still recommend Wigle constantly to people who like rye.
Oh, yeah. No, they're doing really good stuff.
I like the palate better than the nose. The nose to me feels sort of disjointed and like a misfit.
Yeah.
And the palate feels like this really interesting presentation of sweetness coated with ash.
Yeah. So I think a lot of times
I got it.
Hey, there's a fly. It's harassing us.
It bounced off my fingers.
I think, gosh, I was going to say something that would have sounded smart. I'll get to it in a little bit.
Must be a fly in your ointment.
Just going to let it live there.
Just let those thoughts keep flying around in your head.
Like this fucking fly.
Like this fly.
All right.
Why don't you just think of what you had to say and then just let it fly?
Okay. This is what I was going to say. I just need to talk, so you stop. I just need you to stop. Oftentimes, whenever people are getting into whiskey and they want to start blending interesting things together, it's like, oh, I wonder what happens with an Islay and a bourbon, and usually not a lot of good things. But I think they figured out a way to combine extremely different categories of whiskey, and they found flavors that work well with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing close to it, we've had the Kings County peated bourbon, but it's way more dramatic because the peat is coming from the grain. This feels a little more soft and approachable. Yeah, I like it,
but not obvious, overly familiar bourbon flavors. It's a very unsweetened representation.
Nothing about this is typical categorical. Just like those malts we had, we're now drinking very outlier flavor profiles.
And then I go back and there's like this almost a honey granola near the finish.
I get the granola more on the nose too.
And then the peatiness, if you hadn't told me peatiness, I'm acclimating to the smoke. And I could have thought
barrel char.
I might have said barrel char.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning, that smoke is, okay, there's like a foggy day and a little bit of Islay earthiness.
Yeah.
And then you go back, it's like, oh, there's almost like some burnt ends, a meaty savoriness. Now I'm going back in, it's like, that could be barrel char.
It just gets sweeter and softer as you go. That's nice, though. I like that one.
Thank you, Dave from Pittsburgh.
Dave F. Pittsburgh.
Mr. Pittsburgh. Whiskey Jason. Connemara is made with peated barley from Scotland, not Ireland.
Yeah, so
interesting.
I had to go track that down because I never really researched that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so, and I said this to Whiskey Jason.
Because there's peat in Ireland.
Yeah, I wonder, and Whiskey Jason is a channel, by the way.
Nice.
I wonder, okay, so Connemara, if it's, Baird's or some typical Scottish peated malt,
right?
But they're also doing double pot still. That's Scotch. And the only difference is going to be in the cuts and in the aging climate.
Okay.
So they are farther south than Scotland, right? So is all of that flavor Connemara difference just aging? Because otherwise, in every other way, they're making it like a traditional Scotch, all the way down to the barley. That's interesting to me.
I don't know. Tevitech 5150. What? Double question mark. You have the tool to check alcohol content. We've watched you do it dozens of times when you're checking the proof. Am I missing something here? I don't think it's good form to put that alcohol back in the bottle.
No. So one, you don't want to just siphon from the bottle. So,
and you're sucking quite a meaningful amount of alcohol out.
Yeah. Two, it's the distilleries. Right. And every time we're shooting, they're using it.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're now running down there 5 days a week. So for us to be like, hey, that one tool you need to do a lot of your job, sorry. And then I would buy one for here, but it's like $3,000 for the crap one. Or not crap, but
maybe,
like the cheapest
maybe we
one.
just save it for like an insert whenever we know they're not going to be using it.
Yeah,
and there's a bottle, it's like, this could not possibly
no way.
be. And then
we'll come back to it later.
If something's extreme. Then we shoot a little iPhone insert or something.
Or we could just do a whole episode on our big brands bottling it what they say they are. But what we want to do is check it first, but then that ruins the finding out on camera mode.
Honestly, if we're going to be holding people to task like that, we need to be like absolutely confident that it's calibrated perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't want to be saying, hey, you're 5 percentage points off, dickholes, and it ends up being our equipment.
Yeah, because the thing is, that claim is that makes them illegal.
There needs to be 2 testing tools, 2 pieces of equipment.
Yeah.
If we can double confirm that something's off, then yeah. Honestly, is there even a mechanism in the industry if there was a distillery that was notoriously underproofing
or overproofing?
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna basically be
you just consumer report. I mean, that's the category at which Templeton got busted for not being actual, sourced whiskey, right?
Yeah.
Is somebody just filed a consumer complaint.
Right.
That's really the only way.
I am glad Wigle exists.
Me too.
And I'm glad they found the success that they have.
Me too.
Because for people to not be doing the most familiar, I don't want to say cliche because that sounds too aggressive of a word, but
classic.
Yes, classic. It is so expected for everybody to do that. It's really boring really quickly. But they make really good stuff, really good quality stuff, and it's very often off the beaten path. Usually I enjoy it, but that Pennsylvania. Here's defining stealing and drinking.
If you fight me, fight for a friend.
If you steal, may you steal your liver sauce.
And if you drink,
May you drink with us.